First day of summer, DL Huguely and Geoffrey Berman. What's up, folks? Today is Saturday, June 20th. Psych! It's Sunday, June 21st, 2020, and I am behind. So, it is literally just an hour after midnight. So, what is that, 1 a.m. on Saturday night? So, we're going to go over the trends on today, June 21st, but that happened yesterday, June 20th. Okay, so, folks, this is what we got. Today, or yesterday, was the first day of summer. So, that's pretty straightforward. First day of summer. The Boston Globe is reporting that it's going to have more heat and sun mark the first day of summer. It was pretty freaking hot today. And if you can't tell, I am in a different place. I am at my parents' house in Houston, Texas, celebrating my dad's Father's Day, obviously, which is today, Sunday, the June 21st. I'll be posting another one later today for today. But yeah, had an awesome time hanging out with the fam. I think that's why my little schedule's a little different. But tell me what you are excited about this summer. Hopefully, we will be doing more getting out and not staying in for our summertime as opposed to the spring with a lot of COVID going on. So, first day of summer, pretty big deal. DL Huguely. Who is a fan of DL Huguely? I know he had a lot of fame recently. I mean, in the 90s with a TV show on ABC. I can't think of the name. But he was... he collapsed. Actor, comedian, this is CNN reporting, actor, comedian DL Huguely tests positive for... Well, all right. DL Huguely tests positive for coronavirus after collapsing on stage in Nashville. Actor, comedian, and former CNN anchor DL Huguely announced he tested positive for coronavirus after collapsing on stage. Now, he had other issues, they said, but during a show at Nashville, Hughley, 57, was suffering from exhaustion, like I said, after working and traveling during the week, a published Yvette Scherer said. In an Instagram post, Hughley said the positive diagnosis came after a battery of tests were performed when he was taken to Nashville's St. Thomas Hospital Friday night after his collapse. I was what they call asymptomatic. I didn't have flu-like symptoms. I didn't have shortness of breath. I didn't have difficulty breathing. I didn't have a cough. I didn't have a low-grade fever. I still don't have a fever. I didn't have a loss of smell or taste. Apparently, I just lost consciousness. Pretty scary, folks. He said he'd be going back to his hotel room to quarantine for 2 weeks after leaving the hospital. Well, thank you for your prayers and your well wishes, and a few more of them wouldn't hurt, so hopefully I won't develop symptoms. Thoughts and prayers go out to you, buddy. Maybe this is as bad as it gets. His credit, the Hugleys. I remember that's what he was on. Pretty funny guy. Geoffrey Berman. There's a lot going on with that today. So, CNN. Who is Geoffrey Berman, the powerful U.S. attorney refusing to step down? Okay, now I apparently edit to this. He did step down. Geoffrey Berman, the powerful U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, who has been thrust into the national spotlight for refusing to leave his post, has a long history of the prosecutor's office in New York and held the position of Donald Trump's transition team before going on to investigate a number of Trump's associates. Berman was an associate counsel in the Office of Independent Counsel during the Iran-Contra investigation, where he prosecuted a former CIA employee for tax fraud before serving as an assistant U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York from 1999 to 1994. During his first run as a U.S. attorney, he handled criminal prosecutions involving tax securities and computer hacking violations, according to the department's website. He went on to practice in the private sector before helming the U.S. Attorney Office for the Southern District of New York, after Attorney General Barr tried to oust him from that position late Friday, saying Berman was set to leave the office. Berman released this remarkable statement refusing to step in. I will step down when a presidential appointed nominee is confirmed by the Senate, Berman said. Until then, our investigations will move forward without delay or interruption. Barr then sent a letter Saturday telling Berman that the president had fired him, though Trump denied having done so shortly after. appointment initially met with concern. Berman has been the U.S. Attorney for Manhattan since 2018. His initial appointment was met with some public and private concerns among the office's prosecutors and the others about his previous associations with Trump. He had held a position on Trump's transition team, and the president had personally interviewed him for the U.S. Attorney post, which worried members of the office who prize its reputation for independence, according to people familiar with the matter. Berman had also been a law partner of Rudy Giuliani, though they never worked on a case together at their former firm, Greenberg Traurig LLP, according to a person familiar with Berman's time there, and had little involvement with one another. But in time since Berman took office, according to people familiar with the matter in New York, federal prosecutors have come to support and trust him, saying they believe he has upheld office's independence and pursued politically sensitive cases based solely on their legal merits. During his tenure, the office has prosecuted Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, a case from which Berman himself was recused, investigated whether the Trump organization violated campaign finance laws, is investigating top Trump confidant Giuliani, and indicted the former New York mayor's associate Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman. So, read more about this. This is on CNN. What do you think? I know it sounds pretty crazy. I just don't know what to think about all this. Joe Rogan under fire for gross clip. We will not click on that, so you can check it out. Demonstrators tear down statue of Francis Scott Key. Statues of controversial tied to slavery are being... This is from Fox 4. Kansas City are being toppled across the Bay Area. This is out of San Francisco. Beyond Cron reported, people were seen taking down the Francis Scott Key statue in Golden Gate Park. Key is the author of the national anthem. Video shows a group of people at Golden Gate Park throwing ropes toward the Francis Scott Key statue, eventually bringing it down. Celebratory cheers could be heard as the statue lay on the ground. Some craziness going on in the world today, but I don't fault people for expressing their mind. So, birthdays today we'll go with June 20th. Lionel Richie, happy birthday. Brian Wilson. Singer Brian Wilson turns 78. Lionel Richie turns 71. John Goodman turns 68. Can you believe it? Nicole Kidman is 53. Happy birthdays. Pretty cool. Okay, folks, signing off. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope to see y'all soon. Late.